All right, folks, got another video for you. Again, reflecting on my meditation. You might even say that this is a reaction video to meditation. Not really. It's more of just my thoughts. And hopefully they're useful for other people. So, today's quote is, "Peace of mind is rarely found in past remembered or future imagined. It's found in our willingness to embrace this very moment." And that tends to be, I think, kind of the theme of a lot of meditation, or a lot of this sort of mindfulness, is to be present, to be in the moment, and experiencing everything that that moment has to offer, and not reflecting too much on the past and not trying to predict too much of the future. I think I mentioned in a previous episode, one thing that I did find interesting is that being mindful doesn't necessarily mean you don't plan for things. It just means that you don't get stuck in narratives or stories about the future or the past. It's really easy. I know I do this, kind of reflecting on the past or going over old conversations or old experiences, especially when they're kind of negative, and kind of playing those, ruminating on those. And that doesn't really do you any good. The past is already done. You're not really going to change it. All you're going to do is start bringing up anxiety or depression or sadness, worry, especially about the future. Worry about the future, maybe sadness or regret about the past. And so those are kind of feelings and emotions that are important to be aware of and experience and hold space for, but they're not typically great to be continually going back to. I think, and at least in my opinion, in my experience, it's a bit better to try to stay in the moment and experience life as it is, and kind of roll with the punches that way. And how this is kind of coming up in my current life right now, thinking about how I can apply this to things that are going on in my world. Today was a quite stressful day, and it was odd because work wasn't that stressful, life wasn't really that stressful, my relationships are not that stressful, but sort of the culmination or the bringing together of all of those things started to overwhelm me a little bit. And I started to find myself kind of bouncing between a bunch of different things, trying to predict the future, in particular, trying to think about the repairs that I need to do to my house and how to kind of get the ball rolling on that. And I started to go down that strange path of trying to invent the conversations I would be having with people, trying to predict my side and their side, and how I would play through those interactions. And I can tell you, over the many years of doing that, those conversations in my head are never the same as reality. So there's really no point in trying to predict how a conversation might go and try to predict all of the different answers or different ways you might want to reply. They never go that way. There's always something that you didn't think of that comes up, or it tends, in my opinion, to go, or my experience tends to go a lot easier than you try to predict and plan out. So that's kind of where my head was. I started to notice that I was trying to predict a lot of the future and trying to plan all of those things that might happen. It's a lot of what if thinking. And luckily, this meditation happened later, but luckily, because I have been meditating, I was aware that I was doing that. And I actually took a minute and did a sort of 3 deep breath technique, and was able to sort of recenter myself and find a little bit of inner peace and calmness in all that's going on. And that actually helped me step back from the whole situation and realize there's not a lot happening right now. Work's good. My relationships are good. Yes, the house stuff is stressful, but it's all good. It'll all come together. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and there's not a whole lot I can do day to day. All I can do is try to make sure that I'm coordinating the various pieces, various people coming together to help me with the house situation. And so once I kind of saw it for what it was, kind of, again, stepping back from predicting the future or reminiscing about the past, and living in the moment, I was able to find a sense of calm, which is what was needed today. So without further ado, or without further rambling, I'm going to leave you with that. Hopefully you can find some inner peace as well. Peace.